I had one of my Patreons ask me, he said, Anthony, it seems like on the internet, everything is negative about a relationship. Like there's no chance that there's going to be a relationship. But what does a good, healthy relationship looks like? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, I want you to watch the entire video. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe at the end of the video. But first, watch the entire video. Next, if you haven't subscribed to my second channel, who is Anthony Spade, the link is in the description. All right, today we're going to be talking about what is signs that you are in a healthy relationship, or what is a healthy relationship. And it seems like this is the ultimate question that a lot of people are asking due to the fact that majority of people live online, their life is online, their ideologies are online, their hypnosis is online, their brain transformation is online, and everything online is negative. So today we're going to actually talk about if you're planning to be in a relationship, which is going to be hard. Don't get it twisted. It's going to be hard to pull off these traits, but you will find people with these traits. And yes, you can develop these traits if you find the right person. But keep in mind, finding the right person is like trying to find a needle in space. And it's going to require you to be the best version of yourself first, which takes me to number one. A healthy relationship is when both people are always working to better themselves. All right? Now, when I say better themselves, I'm not talking about, oh, we're just going to go to church. That's what a lot of people think. Oh, we're just going to go to church. Believe it or not, the most sinners are in church, and church is filled with nothing but baby mamas. If you stop and look at it, majority of the people that are in church are dysfunctional. People that actually gain success, sometimes they're working too much to even go to church, and then they lose connection with church. So understand, outside of church, this couple is working to become the best version of themselves. What do I mean? They're eating healthy. They're going to the gym together. They're staying away from negative energy. When I say stay away from negative energy, they don't try to mentor messed up relationships. A lot of couples try to mentor other relationships because their relationship is so boring. So they find themselves always calling somebody else to ask them about their relationship. Like, hey, how's everything going? Did you and them work it out? Did you and them do this? Because they don't have nothing going on in their relationship. If you're a couple who's always mentoring other couples, you're just bored with your relationship. So a healthy relationship, both men and women have a true understanding that they're going to work together to become not only the best couple, but the best version of themselves spiritually. Next, less stress, less insecurity, and less anxiety. What do I mean by that? See, a lot of people in relationships spend more time arguing, makeup, breakups, and that becomes entertainment in the relationship. Next thing you know, years go by, they're still arguing and fighting, and then one day they break up, go to different people, end up hating each other. Okay, when you have a healthy relationship, you spend less time with anxiety, less time with insecurity, because your spouse may have you thinking that you're not good enough for them, or that you're not doing enough to maintain their attention. So a lot of guys are always in relationships like, man, what is wrong with this girl? What is this girl doing? Every 5 minutes is here. When she starts crying, you don't know how she's gonna react. So most people are actually miserable in their relationships, then that turns into a depression, and then eventually turns into Stockholm Syndrome. What do I mean by Stockholm Syndrome? When you start talking about happy wife, happy life, that's Stockholm Syndrome. When you get around all your beta male friends, y'all like, man, ain't nobody gonna understand women, man. Women are like that. That's Stockholm Syndrome. That's where you haven't put your foot down in a relationship to watch a difference in a woman, and you just let the woman pretty much lash out at you, and you stood there and took it because you didn't understand why she was mad. That's an unhealthy relationship. When you're in a healthy relationship, you and her can argue, and then y'all would love each other at the end. You could easily make up real quick. Your Your arguments don't turn into monthly situations. You will never be bringing up the past in order to be mad going in the future. When you have a healthy relationship, you're less insecure. Your anxiety has shrunk as well. You won't deal with any of that, and you'll always be in a good mood when you're around them. Next, both partners will not be locked into a certain role. There won't be any gender roles, which means that your money is her money is your money if you guys have built it up to that. In other words, it doesn't matter in the relationship who makes the most money or who doesn't make the most money. But in order for it to be truly healthy, in my opinion, the man has to always make the most money. Why? Because hypergamy is a natural mindset for a woman. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they tell you. You go broke, she's gone. So, in my opinion, the man has to always make more than the woman, but the woman can hold her own, but she's not required to hold her own. And both don't look down on each other or try to play gender roles, which means that the man may cook one day, the woman may cook the next day. The man may watch the kids one day, the woman may watch the kids one day. But one thing that they do in these situations, they don't get around other couples and play gender roles. Sometimes when you get around other couples and everything turns into a debate, it turns into a men say this, and then women say this, and then men say this, and then women say that. No, those arguments are for singles who are having a hard time finding a problem. That's what those debates are for, single people. Those debates are not for couples. So couples who are healthy, they avoid those type of relationships, those type of debates, because there's no gender roles in their relationship. Next, conflict resolution. This is probably the most important one. And what do I mean by conflict resolution? The woman is not combative. All right, she's not combative, which means that they can get in an argument, but they have a tendency to say, hey, let's just talk about it. They're that couple. They're that couple, like before it can blow up and get bigger than it was, lash out, run to each other's friend's house to talk about it, call up family members, call up mommy, call up auntie, and tell everybody in the neighborhood that y'all having an argument, having a fight. She doesn't do that. You and her are able to be confident with each other to say, all right, let's stop arguing. Let's just sit down and come to a resolution. All right. A couple that's healthy can do that. Because what's most important to them is actually making it work. The arguments are going to get you nowhere. They're not going to get you anywhere. So when you and that woman can actually debate, agree to disagree on things, and then sit down and come up with a common resolution, kiss each other, and call it a day, that's a healthy relationship. Last but not least, understanding each other's mood. When I mean understanding each other's mood, you're able to sense when your partner is having a bad mood, but it's just a mood swing. It's a difference. Women are really good with men. When women are in relationships, they learn their boyfriends and they learn their husband's mood real fast. But typically, it takes a man a while to learn a woman's moods. But when they can understand each other's moods, then they take less things personal. Too many people in a relationship, when they get in an argument with their spouse or significant other, they take everything that they're saying personal. Why? Because love is you accepting the negative traits of the other person. That's all it is. You're allowing them to be whoever they is, whether you like it or not, and you're still going to be there for them. Women are always expecting this simple thing to happen. But when it comes to understanding moods, you have to understand with a woman, she may just be having a mood swing, and in 2 hours, she's going to think totally different. You have to know when to be quiet in a relationship, and a woman knows when to be quiet in a relationship as well. Maybe she doesn't need to talk to you, or maybe you don't need to talk to her, and then you'll ask them later, like, all right, they're in a bad mood. I'll just ask them later. A lot of submissive women are really good at this. When they see something wrong with their husband, they have a tendency to be quiet and wait for the perfect time to talk. It's the same thing when it comes to a man. When she's having a mood swing, learn to just be quiet and deal with the situation later when you guys could settle and come to a resolution. But once you learn each other's moods, then it's easy for you to be like, oh, you're just having a bad day because of that. I'll deal with it later. Sometimes when women are acting very emotional and very victimized, They just need somebody to call them out on it. Whenever you can call them out because you understand the moves, it has a tendency to be healthy in the relationship. And hopefully you guys can understand where I was trying to deliver in this message. But finding these traits is extremely hard. And the best advice that I can give you is when you meet somebody that you really like, try going 30 days to 45 days dating. And when I say dating, like, you don't have to go spend money. Go to the park, go for a walk, do cheap stuff, bowling. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to actually get out here and do a lot of stuff that spend money, but let you and her come to agreement that, hey, we're just gonna date and not have sex to see if we're actually compatible with each other. All right? That's my advice. And then you can start to build up these traits. But if you got a woman that belongs to the streets, man, that's the problem. Most of these girls belong to the streets because they need the attention from the streets in order to feel good. That's why men are desensitized to the way women look. Women are addicted to looking sexually now. They're addicted to drawing in a man's attention through big booties and sexuality, but it harms them in the long run because any man that wants to build something will always be looking at the outside into her saying, I can't see her with my kids. I can't take her home to mommy, even though she's just walking down the street with them yoga pants on. But the guy that doesn't see that she's gonna cheat on is gonna look at her like, oh my God, she's God. I wanna be with her, I wanna marry her. That's the big difference. Women don't know how to make the transitioning from a real man from a little boy. So it keeps them in a little girl mindset. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you're able to get the message. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista. Another thing, if she ain't holding you down, she's slowing you down.